Good morning, Nicholas Wong. This is my submission for client file 3. The participant group name is Miss Endurance. I'm obviously the trainer, therefore Christian Nobly. The start date could be considered as the 5th of the 5th. The long-term program goal is endurance-focused performance increase for an endurance person or by means of what we've been told as an AFL player. Phase goal of phase 1 is including muscular endurance program approaches. The weekly plan is Monday, Tuesday with gym, Wednesday rest, Thursday, let's say this person has a match, and Friday, Saturday, the person is going to the gym, and Sunday they are having a rest day. The warm-up activities will include 3 dynamic exercises, forward lunges with a torso rotation, forward arm circles with a skip, and backwards arm circles with a skip. Starting with the left or right foot forward, this time I'll be doing left foot forward, lunge accordingly, posture upright, rotating, maintaining balance, and then coming up forward, turning it around, and then performing the same movement with the opposite leg. Like so, moving forward with a lunge, rotating, moving forward, maybe, and then doing another lunge, rotating, upright, turn around, lunge. Okay, her posture is excellent, maintains balance, rotates accordingly. Her knees are parallel, feet are in good position. I have no issues with the movement. Forward arm circles with a skip, so pretending that you've got a skip and you're hopping. So if you could please do that, Ellie. Just keep going. Okay. Backwards arm circles with a skip, same concept, but going backwards. Yeah. And rotate your arms backwards, going backwards. That's forwards, go backwards, there we go. Okay, excellent. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate to the client how to do a barbell bent over row. So starting with feet approximately shoulder width apart, chest upright, straight posture, and lowering the back down, slightly bending both knees whilst keeping an arch with the back, head like so, and literally pulling the bar realistically slightly above the belly button in between the lower pectoral, and like so. You have a barbell bent over row. Okay, so Ellie, if you could please start with the row. So perfect, excellent. Ellie's knees are bent, her lower back is in a really good position, her spine and head is aligned accordingly. Being a female, she's bringing up the bar sort of below her breast and in between the belly button, and performing the row accordingly. The next exercise, which is sort of 2 exercises at once because we're going to superset them, barbell squats, and then using an isolateral leg curl for the hamstrings. Now, I don't have such a machine in my home gym, but I will provide an alternative. So how to perform a barbell squat quickly. A high bar squat with a low weight isn't really an issue here, or we could do it with a light kettlebell, but for the purpose of the exercise, I'll be doing it with a very light barbell. This is probably maybe 5 kilos, this bar, if that. So feet apart slightly further than shoulder width, or however the client feels comfortable within that range. And coming down, keeping the lower back straight. As you come down, the knees sort of not to exceed over the toes. The bar sort of being aligned mid-range, sort of vertically parallel with the feet. By going, say, arse to the grass, as they say, this will also be stretching out the hamstrings, which I'm feeling a stretch now, and then coming up like so. Okay, starting chest upright, face forward, and then coming down. Excellent posture. Ellie's maintaining a lower back arch as she comes down. Her knees are pretty much exactly parallel to her, almost parallel to her toes. Let's say 6 reps, 7, 8. I have no issues with her form here. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So at my home gym, I have an incline bar with a leg curl device, which also acts as a leg extension device. I have no weight on there, but to demonstrate, essentially I'm lying down on my stomach, flat, and I'm going to raise my leg right up. By doing this, this will be contracting the hamstring, coming all the way down, and doing this for 15 times per leg. And this will be quite similar to an isolateral leg curl. Okay, go for it. 1, 2, 3. Ellie's lying down accordingly. Her leg is extending all the way back and it's coming right up, so she's just getting contraction with the hamstring. Go for it. And like so. The next activity is a reverse fly pec machine, which I had on my program, but in the TAFE gym and also at my home gym, there is no such machine. So in order to provide an alternative, we can do a pec fly using either dumbbells or even a very light weight for the purpose of endurance. Again, doing about 15 reps at about 65% intensity. Okay, lie down, feet flat, arms up, and then bring it right down. Get a stretch with the chest. Excellent. 1, 2, Ellie's form is very good. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and one more. I'll be demonstrating push-ups to the client, given that she's a female. These can be done with knees bent, like so, back straight accordingly, head facing down to keep alignment with the spine, and just coming down. I'll take my head off. And going for 15 reps. The client will attempt to do 15 if she can. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, arms a little bit forward, Place your palm a bit forward. 6, 7, 8, very good. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Excellent. Okay, I'll be demonstrating to the client on how to do a leg raise. The client will bring both of their feet sort of next to my ears. I'll then be extending my legs upwards. The client will then push. I'll go down without touching the ground. And do that a few times. I'll be holding the back of the heel of the client as I do this exercise. Okay. The client will then do this 15 times. Right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Like so. Essentially rotating the core, extending as much as possibly can. With a ball, you might tap it to the ground. Okay, great. Ellie has her feet extended, which is really good because she has a pretty good core. And she's rotating pretty far, which is good. And she's touching with the weight that's tapping the ground accordingly. Let's say she's at about 9 reps now. She's maintaining the movement. Her posture is good. She's keeping stability with her legs. And that's good. Conclude. Cool down exercises will include static stretching, such as the seated hamstring stretch, the quad stretch standing, groin stretch seated, a low back stretch, and an abdominal stretch. The client will now be doing a groin stretch, holding the position for about 10 to 15 seconds. Posture is perfect. She's keeping a back straight even though that she's still leaning forward. The client will now perform some seated hamstring stretches in a static position, maintaining the stretch, each stretch for about 5 seconds each. Flexibility is very good. I have no issues with her movement. The client will now be doing a low back stretch and just holding it for about 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, very good. The client will now be doing an abdominal stretch. Posture is really good, maintaining flexibility. And maintaining the position for about 10 to 15 seconds. Here she's getting a stretch through her abs and also placing pressure on the deltoids and a bit on the pecs as well. The client will now be doing a quad stretch standing statically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For the purpose of completing this exercise in video format, each exercise that has been demonstrated will be done with 4 sets by means of endurance, whereby 15 reps and having an intensity of about 65%. Rests for the purpose of endurance can be for 60 seconds, and each exercise has been demonstrated accordingly, and therefore for the purpose of the video they would be repeated 4 times. Each exercise would be repeated 4 times.